What's wrong? Are you okay?
I'm fine. It's just a cold or something.
You don't sound fine. Let's go to Student Health Services.
Fine.
Hey, how'd it go?
Good as new. I just have to pick up my prescription from the MSC. You ready to go?
Let's go. Hi, and welcome to Best Places with Irene and Courtney. Today we're going to be talking about wellness on campus.
Actually, I could use a little wellness right now.
Actually, did you know that regular exercise helps prevent cardiovascular disease?
But I hate working out.
Hold on, have you tried signing up for a class? You could do yoga, Zumba, group cycling, cardio dance, or you could even rent a racquetball, handball, or squash court.
That sounds like fun. But you know what I like?
The pool.
Yes, the pool. Have you seen the one in the Fit in the Village? It's just like a resort.
I'd rather go kayaking or something.
They have that too. You can go kayaking or canoeing at the riverfront park, or even go on adventure trips like hiking or biking.
Wow. Hey, do you want to go to the wellness center after the pharmacy?
I have 2 words for you. Massage chairs.
This has been Best Places with Irene and Courtney. Now get ready for USF Housing Live.
During high school, I had a lot of bad self-esteem because, and I still kind of do, I still kind of struggle with it, but it's way better. And in high school, I kind of just like compared myself to everyone else. And I like kind of focused on those traits that I had, like the traits that I did not like that other people had. I always came to a point that I said like, well, I'm not worth it because like I don't have these traits. Like because I'm not like this, then I'm not cool enough, or like I'm not a person that's actually gonna succeed. I didn't really overcome that mentality until I came to USF. Like I didn't overcome that mentality until I really got to know myself and got to know my needs, and like got to know that whenever I have these thoughts, I need to go through these steps and I need to give myself way more attention, self-love, because when I give myself that love, I realize that other people can also give me that love, because that it's not impossible to actually care about me. You are worth loving and you're worth caring, and like start talking to yourself as if you would talk to your best friend. Like you wouldn't talk to your best friend the way that you're talking to yourself. I know there's a lot of stigma out there when you say, oh, I went to the counseling center. But just forget about that stigma and remember that you need this. Like it's your health first, and like if you don't get better, then nothing gets better. If you like listen to the stigma, you're still gonna be sick, you're still gonna be like struggling. I would not be afraid to ask for help.
Gregory Bowers, Sierra Rose, Maxwell Morinelli, Elisa Goldberg, Irene Naomi, Courtney Cadogan, Geraldine Paredes, June Dickens, Chris Herrera, Stephanie Jockman. Wednesday, June 6, 2018. Coming to you from the beautiful University of South Florida campus in Tampa, it's USF Housing Live!
Welcome everybody. This is USF Housing Live. I'm your host, Gregory Bowers with Housing and Residential Education here at the beautiful University of South Florida in Tampa. Our motto, best place to live, best place to work, best place to learn. We've got a great show for you tonight, and always make sure you send your questions and comments to us in the comments section, and we'll answer you in real time live on the air. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and meet tonight's guest. We have Susanna Perez-Field from Student Health Services. Susanna, how are you doing this evening?
I am so excited to be here, particularly representing student health.
Very happy to have you here. And also, our first guest we're going to be speaking with is Dr. Scott Strader from the Counseling Center. Dr. Strader, welcome to the show.
I'm great to be here. Thank you, Greg.
Well, happy to have you. How about we jump right in and start asking you some questions? And so tell us, what is it you do here at USF?
So I'm director of the Counseling Center. Counseling Center is located in the Student Services Building, SVC, on the second floor. complete with psychologists, mental health counselors, about anything you could need to check in on your mental health and mental wellness and make sure you're doing well.
And so tell us, why is it that we have a counseling center here on campus?
Well, as I think about it, I think it's important that we have a service on campus that helps students with transitions. There are a lot of different things that happen as students come to college and throughout the time that they're here. When you think of the stressors of coming to college, it's one of the most stressful times of one's life. And then things happen once you get here. Maybe things happen that you don't necessarily expect to happen, or you really want something to happen that doesn't happen. And so that's where we come in, to help students kind of navigate some of those transitions, make sure they're doing well, make sure that, or at least help them to not have their academic life really affected by that, help them to have the best social life, the best academic functioning that they possibly can.
Excellent. And so can you tell us a little bit about some of the most commonly used services?
Sure. So we serve over 3,000 students a year in the Counseling Center. So it's certainly something that a lot of students take advantage of. And it's free of charge, the services that we provide out of the Counseling Center. Most of what we provide in the Counseling Center is individual counseling for students with psychologists and licensed clinical social workers, mental health counselors. And that's most of what we provide, but it's not all that we do. In addition to the individual counseling that we provide, we have a lot of different group services that students can be a part of that really help students to kind of improve how they relate to each other. We also have some focused groups that maybe help students to deal with loss and grief, or help them maybe learn some different kinds of skills, meditation, mindfulness, those kinds of things. And in addition to that, you'll see us around campus providing services out in the residence halls or with our campus partners to help students kind of improve their mental wellness. And then also there's a very unique program that we provide that kind of captures some technology, and we call it Therapist Assisted Online, where there's a face-to-face component with a counselor, but there's also an online component that includes some interactive videos and messages, exercises that students can be engaged in. So a lot of what happens at the Counseling Center goes beyond the individual counseling that we provide.
Excellent. And so I imagine there are some myths out there that students have about campus counseling centers in general. What are they?
Yeah, I think the biggest misconception as I think about it is that you have to really have a problem, or that you really have to be crazy to come into the Counseling Center. And one thing that I have told students for years and years, not only at USF but in other positions, is that I'd much rather help you out of a small problem or dig you out of a small hole than a large hole. And so students can come and see us at any point where they feel like they have something that might be helpful for them to talk about or work through. And you don't have to necessarily wait until you're so depressed that you can't get out of bed, or that you've flunked classes, or that other parts of your life are really seriously affected. So I think that's probably the biggest misconception that I think about. I think also there's this kind of idea that if I walk into the Counseling Center or if I get help at the Counseling Center, everybody's going to know about it. And that's just not true. What we do in the Counseling Center is very private and personal to folks. We really take confidentiality very seriously. And so I think those are just a couple of the misconceptions that I hear most commonly.
And can you tell us a little bit more about the legal confidentiality protections and if there are any exceptions to that?
Yeah, absolutely. So we take, as I said, we take confidentiality very seriously. We want what happens in the Counseling Center to be very private for folks, very respectful, so that you can have an opportunity to talk about whatever's on your mind and really kind of work through what might be some very personal issues for you. So by law, for students who are over 18 years of age, confidentiality is guaranteed. The only exceptions is if we know you're going to hurt yourself or someone else. But other than that, if that's not going on, then what we talk about is very private and by law is protected.
Now, I want to ask you about something I believe we can talk about, and that is the students' experience. What have they shared about their experience with Counseling Center services?
Yeah, thank you. So we're very pleased about the feedback that we've received from students, and we take that very seriously. We ask students for their feedback at the end of every semester. We take what they say, we hear both the good stuff and the not so good stuff maybe, and work to make changes where we can to help improve the student experience. But what we've known is that, gosh, over 90%, sometimes as high as 95% in some surveys that we've done, of the students that we see are very satisfied with the services that they receive. would recommend us to other people, would come back if they felt like they needed help in the future. So we're very proud of that, and we feel like and are very pleased that the services that we provide to students seem to be well received, seem to be helping students, and are appreciated.
Excellent. So something I know we've seen before is that situation where a student has a friend who they feel should visit with a counselor, but that friend doesn't want to go. Yep. And so what advice do you have in that situation?
Yeah, you bet. Very common kind of issue. We get concerned about our friends and the people that we interact with. We want to see them get help, and they may not have that same perspective. We're happy to talk with students around that. If they want to call or come in and talk with one of our counselors about that, we can certainly help them through that and kind of talk about the kinds of things that you can say to your friend or how to encourage them to come in or seek help. I think another real good avenue for students is our Student of Concern and Assistance team, or our SOCAT team. Students can make an online referral about anybody else that they may be concerned about. And so I would really encourage students that if they're concerned about a friend or a roommate or somebody that they care about, that they make a referral into our Student Outreach and Support area through the SOCAT process, and a case manager will reach out to that student and see if there's some way that we can intervene and get some help for them.
Excellent. So you got to tell us, where's the counseling center located?
Of course. So we're in the Student Services building. We're on the second floor, Suite 2124 of SVC, right across the lobby from Career Services.
All right, excellent. So we got some live questions that have come in. I think they're me questions, but I think they're you comments. Let me see here. Sheila has said, doing great, Scott, from Rachel and Sheila. And so I don't know if you know those folks.
I do indeed. Thank you.
And so got a little comment there. Bryce has sent us a thumbs up. Thanks, Bryce. All right. We got a question here from Jenna who asked, hi, Greg, how can I apply for early move-in? So I've got the answer for you there. It is early move-in for only those who are in pre-approved groups, those are who are moving in early on campus. To learn more about this, go to usf.edu/housing, and right there in the announcement section, you'll see prepare to move in for fall. Click on that link, and all the information for our fall arrivals is there, including early move-in information. So definitely take a look at that and check that out. And so, folks, we're going to be back with more USF Housing Live in a moment. Want to let you know we got some videos we're going to roll for you. First will be Jack Eats, going to learn how to make blueberry Pop-Tarts. They are delicious. And then we're going to have a very serious episode of Becoming a Bull with Jess discussing their mental health. And that is a very serious video. We do have a little warning on that. If that does not make you comfortable, you can go ahead and mute your sound during that. We'll be back right after that. And so stick with us. There is more USF Housing Live after this.
Hey Bulls! Catch up on episodes you may have missed and see what's coming up by visiting usf.edu/housing. Select About Us, then USF Housing Live. Choose an episode and get ready to live the Bulls life.
Hey Bulls, I'm Jack, back with more Jack Eats and loving food as much as ever. I'm ready to teach you some more great, fresh and easy recipes. Today, I'm going to make some easy lemon blackberry pastries. So first, we're going to make some dough. So we're going to put in 2 cups of flour, and now we're just going to add a pinch of salt. Cut in 2/3 a cup of butter. Just get it pretty evenly distributed in there. So for the water, you might need anywhere from 1/2 to maybe 2/3 a cup. I couldn't find my 1/2 cup measurement, so I just ended up using a tablespoon. I'm in college. We have to get crafty sometimes. All right, so my dough is just about at the right consistency. So your dough just needs to be moist enough so you can form a nice ball. To roll this out, I'm just going to use this glass bottle. I don't have a rolling pin. I don't know when I'm going to get a rolling pin, but I have this glass bottle. Just sprinkle a little flour over your dough. I haven't taken geometry in a while. I almost forgot how to do this. Now we'll work on our blackberry jam. Put these in the pot. Now we'll add about a tablespoon of sugar. Now we're going to mix the sugar up with the berries, put this on a burner, and let it simmer for maybe about 10 minutes. Now we're going to mix up a lemony frosting. We're going to cut up our lemon. It should be about 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. We'll add 1 tablespoon of sugar. And you'll stir this together until it's a nice smooth glaze. Now that we have our dough and our jam ready, we'll go ahead and spoon the jam onto the pieces of dough. So now we'll take the other 6 top pieces of the dough and put them over each pastry. Now you can use a fork to press down the edges and seal each pastry. Now it's time to pop these in the oven. I can hardly contain my excitement. Your pastries need to bake for 20 to 25 minutes. I might get a stomach ache after eating all this. I'm Jack, this is Jack Eats, and I'm so glad you cooked this meal with me.
Hi, my name's Jess. My pronouns are they, them, and I'm a first-year student studying environmental biology. So my experience with the dark times, if you will, have definitely been up and down throughout the years. It really started in middle school. I definitely went through a time where I was involved with self-harm and I had an eating disorder. I saw myself as somebody who I wasn't, and I was trying so hard to be liked by people, and it really affected, again, how I saw myself, and I hated the way I looked, and I hated almost everything about me. And that's why, like, I would hurt myself, and I wouldn't eat, and I would do all of these horrible things to myself just to make the people around me like me more. Some days I genuinely didn't think that I would, make it to where I am today. Not knowing how to get help was a big struggle to me back then. That's something I love about USF, is that right away, even at orientation, they were like, look, this is all of the things that we can do to help you. Truly listen to the people around you. Even if you don't want to listen to them, they're probably right. When they say that things get better, they really do get better. Even if right now it does not seem like that, things turn around, and they can only turn around if you want them to. So my advice would be to get the help that you need and embrace it.
Hey everyone, welcome back. I am your host, Gregory Bowers. This is produced by Housing Residential Education. Our motto is best place to live, best place to work, best place to learn. And so want to do a special thank you to Jess for sharing their story with us. That can't be easy. And want to remind everyone, if you ever need those services, please make that call. If you ever know someone that's in need of that help, please make that call. It is always the right thing to do. If you're not sure, make that call. And so now we're going to transition. We're going to speak with one of my favorite people here on campus, Susanna Perez-Field from Student Health Services. Susanna, I am so happy to have you on the show. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Really, truly thrilled to be here.
So you got to tell us, what is it you do here at USF?
I am the Communications and Marketing Officer for Student Health, and I am celebrating my 10th year with Student Health. And I must also tell you, I'm class of '94.
Oh, go Bulls! Go
yes,
Bulls.
Go Bulls!
We got some Bulls in the audience.
Yes, I'm from a whole family of Bulls.
Well, excellent. Well, welcome to all our alumni. Make sure to please donate to our Unstoppable campaign. Just want to say it, shameless plug. All right, so let's talk a little bit about documents students need to submit before they can register for classes here.
Yes, the number one question of incoming students. So all students need to provide proof of immunity to measles and rubella. They must all sign the USF medical history form, either on print or digitally on Oasis. And in addition, they must either acknowledge or decline the hepatitis B vaccination, which is a recommendation, and the recommendation for the meningitis vaccine.
All right, excellent. So what is the process for students to submit these immunization records?
So our students have a number of different ways which they can do that. They can choose to upload that through the admissions portal. They can go on the immunizations page on the Student Health Services website and upload their records, or they can email them to us, fax them to us, and we even still accept U.S. snail postal mail.
All right, so snail mail still working out there. That's good to know. And so we have a number of international students. What are some things that they should be thinking about and doing to prepare for their first year here?
Yes, so I am thrilled that you brought that up because, first of all, Dr. Strader is here. We have a Wellness USF initiative, and the entire Wellness USF collaboration is thrilled to welcome international students. They bring an enormous amount of diversity, energy, and experience to our classrooms. So now, having said that, you do have a few additional things that you must do in order to register for classes and prepare to be here. The first thing is that you all need tuberculosis screening. And that has to be within 6 months, either skin test or blood test. If you do the blood test, we need the full laboratory report. The measles, proof of measles that you're going to submit, both measles vaccinations must be after the first birthday. And then the biggest question they ask, international students ask about the insurance requirements. And so it's very important that they know that they do not purchase insurance just to register for classes. In order to register for classes, all they need to do is let us know if they will have the school insurance or an off-campus insurance. And that is a simple form that they fill out electronically off our website. Now, once they get here or just before they arrive, they do need to purchase medical insurance. And whether it's through us or through off-campus, it is not a good idea to purchase insurance in your home countries. The USF insurance requirement, which is because there is a state and a federal insurance requirement, is exceptionally strict. And the US medical system is very different from the systems of medicine in socialized countries. So it's extremely important that they know this in advance. We will talk to them once they're here, but what that means is they need to get an insurance company, an insurance policy that is based in the US. And if they want a list of approved off-campus insurance companies, we can provide that through our insurance office and our compliance office. Or if they're getting the US school insurance, it is a bit more expensive because it is contracted to be comprehensive and to keep the costs, medical costs down for the students, as well as keeping paperwork to a minimum.
All right, excellent. Thank you for sharing that. It's really good for our international students to know. And so when the students get here, what if they get really sick on campus? What do they do?
Most of what we do is cough, cold. I have hurt myself. So that is easy for us. It's something that we do every day. We are centrally located. We're actually very close to the Marshall Center, and we are between the bookstore and Castor Hall. So if a student gets sick, the best thing to do is to call us as soon as they feel unwell. We are appointment-based. We're not a walk-in unless it's an urgent situation. So we will schedule them based on the urgency of their symptoms, and we want to make sure that we get that done as early as possible so that we can get them feeling better and they can thrive while they're here at USF.
All right, excellent. So how is student health services on campus different from a doctor a student may have back at home?
Oh, I love this question, Greg. We do everything that a general medical doctor does for you back home, but you have actually 3 advantages as a USF Bull. The first is that we specialize in college-age health. The second is that most of our appointments are done within 1 business day, which is something that most back-home doctors cannot do. So we see our students same day or next day, almost always. And then the third thing is that we have multiple sources of revenue and funding. So although we do accept private insurance, we also get money from tuition. And what that means for our students is a assessment, a general medical office visit, examination, cough, cold, listen to me kind of thing, that's covered under tuition. If a student doesn't have insurance or doesn't want to use insurance because they don't want their parents to know, that's no problem. That office visit's fully covered under tuition. If we need laboratory or medication, then we can bill insurance or we have student rates.
All right, excellent. So what are the hours of student health services?
Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. That's fall and spring. In the summer, we do have slightly shorter hours, and we would ask that your viewers, our students, actually follow us on social media because we do have sometimes special events and hours.
All right, excellent. You heard it. Shameless plug. Follow them on social media. And so what services are offered at Student Health Services?
Okay, get ready for the list.
I'm ready.
Okay, general medicine, women's health, men's health, psychiatry, nutrition counseling because we have a registered dietitian on staff. We co-supervise the feedable food pantry. We have an antigen clinic, do allergy shots, immunizations. We have an urgent care clinic. We can do stitches, splints. We have athletic training, which is kind of like physical therapy. We have a pharmacy. I'm sure I'm forgetting something. We do testing for ADD, ADHD, and learning disabilities. We have psychiatry. And last but not least, we do dermatology.
That's it? That's it? That's all you got? Wow, it sounds like you have a lot. I heard dermatology. Dad, if you're listening, put on some sunscreen so you don't have to see the dermatologist. Thought I'd throw that out there. Is he watching? Who really knows? But I'll play it for him later. So you've got a lot of services over there. It sounds like if a student's not sure, they can just go to Student Health Services and get checked out, right?
Let us take care of you. That's what we do. That's what we're here for.
Now, what about in the case where a student is not yet 18?
Wonderful question. So we do have a number of students who will be on campus and in classes before they reach age 18. And it's important to have that conversation with your family before you arrive so that your family legal guardian can sign over what we call a consent to treat a minor. If we don't have that form on file and you get sick or injured, we can only treat you in an emergency. So it's best to get that in advance. We can take it in advance and have it on file should it be needed.
All right, excellent. So we probably have a number of students out there who've never gone to the doctors by themselves. This would be the first time. So what should they expect?
Adulting, it's hard. I still don't like to make medical appointments without my mom. I'm used to her making them for me. So what our students have to kind of prepare for is get that coaching now from your parents, from your family. How do I make a medical appointment? Being prepared that, yes, you'll have to schedule a time. It's not going to be walk-in unless it's urgent. Allow about an hour. Quality medical care takes time. Bring your insurance card if you have it. Always bring photo ID and be prepared to know about your medical history and your family history.
All right, excellent. So I got another question for you here. For students who are on medication with a medical condition, how can student health help them?
We have a number of students with medical conditions, and not only is that a common question, we want them to know that that is no problem for us. We are nationally accredited, and we have board-certified medical providers, so we can handle it. If you have a medical condition, it is a good idea to get a copy of your medical record before you are a patient, before you're on campus, while you're still back at home. Sometimes you might need your parent to help you with that. And that way we can take it the first time you are our patient. So bring that medical record with you to your first appointment and we'll take it then. We want to know what has worked, what has not worked, what the treatment plan is, what medications we have. That's continuity of care. We want everything to work smoothly and seamlessly for you because our job is to keep you well so that you can achieve your goals. And once you're at orientation, you actually can now be our patient. So once you've attended orientation, as a student, new bull, you can actually schedule an establishing visit for us so that we can take all of that from you and you can actually meet your medical care, meet your medical team at that time.
Excellent. Just got to ask, just to be sure, where exactly are you located?
Oh gosh, so SHS 100, we have our own building. We're next to the bookstore, between the bookstore and Castor Pond.
Excellent. Very easy to find, everyone. Susanna, thank you so much for joining me on the show tonight.
Thank you so much for having me.
And folks, we are just about out of time. But to remind you, this show is coming at you every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time at youtube.com/USF Housing, facebook.com/USF Housing, and in the USF Class of 2022 Facebook group. Make sure you join. The link is actually right on the usf.edu/housing homepage. There's a couple links there. Make sure you join USF Class of 2022. Our next episode, Be Your Own Bull, is going to be Wednesday, June 13th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube, Facebook, and of course, in the group. And so we are so excited. Make sure you do join us. Ask us anything during the show. Want to say thank you to Dr. Strader. Thank you so much, Susanna Perez-Field, for being on the program with us tonight. But wait, there is just one last thing. Go Bulls! Good night, everyone.